Good morning, everybody. The prompt of the day is what would make your eBay business better? So everyone can comment. Remember, Wednesdays is live on YouTube. So if you don't feel comfortable, then turn off your video, but you can still share audio. You can raise your hand or you can type it in the chat and I will answer for you. Eric, what's up?
Good morning, brother. Pleasure being here. Question is, I checked my metrics last night, well, this morning, and I'm killing it across the board in terms of pretty much everything on that sales metrics. The only downside I saw was I'm ranked at like 200 out of like 80,000, which doesn't matter too much, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on, is it more volume based, that I would pretty much hit like a one rank, or what are your suggestions?
You want to rank higher in your category? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
It's going to be based on the total number of listings you have and the total sales volume. So like there's 199 people who sell more items in that category than you in theory, or it could be because I've seen it skewed to whoever has the most listings too. So it's both. It's whoever has the most sales and the most dollar amount and who has the most listings because I've seen people that rank number one but don't have the most sales, but they just have the most listings.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's an inventory thing as well. Because like I said, everything else is 100%.
So back to the question of the day, what would make your eBay business better, Eric?
Uh Inventory, really. But the
Better
reason,
inventory. Go ahead.
no, just quantity, but the reason um I'm not getting more quantity is because I haven't increased my daily sales. Um
Okay,
so in essence, I haven't reached the seller nirvana.
gotcha. So is that just because of how long you've been doing it, or what's the reason why you haven't reached it yet?
Yeah, just the length. And my store is 350 items. So I'm growing slow, but I'm also very selective in the inventory that I get. And
Okay,
it's just women jeans. That's all I sell is women jeans, nothing
okay.
else.
I like that strategy where you've picked a niche, you're just going to stay in one, stay in your lane till you get there, and very, very picky with what you sell. So I love that. Okay. So a lot of people have said that what would help their eBay business is being better with organization. So maybe let's talk about specifically what you would want to organize. I want to point out one interesting thing. I switched to racks for whatnot just to test it because I've never tested it before. I had four racks that I never used. And if you have space, it's way better, in my opinion, than the box system because it's just visually you can see every single item. Even though with the number, it's really fast. It only takes 12 seconds. If we're talking about easier, vertical flat lay is easier than flat lay on the ground. Racks are easier than bins. Bins are more labor intensive. You can fit a lot more in the same space, like um, almost 10 times more stuff fits in on a shelf than a rack because you can fill every single square inch. And vertically, you could even go 10 feet high if you had a ladder. So it's interesting, like, testing both methods for organization. I would say anything chronological kills it for finding it. So date based inventory, whether by chronological or even by color, like the TV show The Home Edit, and that's how tech system is sort of based. Um, is great. Okay, Steven's saying what would help his eBay store is a higher sell-through rate. That's a um, that would help everyone. So that's really the best answer ever. It's just how. How do you make your items sell faster? Let's see. Mark says he's tripping over things daily. That's a huge thing that you could work on is getting everything up off the floor. That'd be massive. It's really nice not having anything on the floor. Let's see. Julie wants to work in organization as well. Carol wants to get drafts ahead of time. Carol, do you want to talk about that for a moment? What do you mean by drafts ahead of time?
Every time I get my drafts set, and I have 2 stores, I use them. I'm back to, scrambling every day. I just haven't got figured out.
I got you.
It's like a bag of chocolate and you just eat it all.
Yeah, I think that's a wait, do you not eat one chocolate per day?
No.
Let's see. Does anybody eat one chocolate per day? I don't. I'm a one bag is one serving.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And I just I'm like, okay, I have my drafts for a week and then I use them. And I'm like, how did I use them all?
Well, okay. I think, what
Hey,
is,
Chris,
go ahead.
if I had that same problem, if I can project real fast. So what I noticed worked, and I don't have my camera on because I'm in the store right now, but
No
what
problem.
I noticed worked was that I would do my bank for a week, so to speak.
Yep.
But every day that I'm not listing or whatever, I'm adding to that bank. So whether it's 1 or 2 or 5, I'm consistently adding to that bank so that I don't run out of it while I'm using it.
Eric,
Makes sense?
what's your listing goal per day?
It was 20, but I scaled down to 5.
Okay. Sounds good. Carol, what's your listing goal per day?
It is 15.
15. Okay. So for me, the reason why my draft bank never goes down is I add like 1 or 2% over my listing goal into it every day. So it actually slightly grows over time. If you do a little, like your goal is 15, but you do 16
That's
over the course of a couple of months, even if you miss a day, you still end up growing because even if you use you miss a day and you use your drafts, because it's always growing, it starts to grow faster than you actually use it. You just have to list approximately 1% more, which is just one. For most people, that's one item more. So then you can miss a day once every 2 weeks. And if you miss a day once every 2 weeks with the goal of 15, your draft bank stays full if you do 16. So that's a really good thing to think about because the draft bank saves you. Go ahead.
It does. I'm going to try that because it's just crazy. I'm always like, feel like I'm catching up.
I like the analogy with your chocolate because Darren Hardy said that the reason why he works out every day is because 1 pint of ice cream is a serving for him. He's like, who eats ice cream like 1/5 of a pint? That's not even, why even eat it? So I agree. If you always list more than one, then like if you want to take Saturdays off, like 15 a day is 105 a week. I wouldn't personally, because the way my lifestyle is set up, I would do 21 Monday through Friday and take the weekends off, still reach my 105. But if I was trying to build up my bank like you, I would do 23 Monday through Friday. And then over the course of a month, I would have 60 items in my draft bank from just doing 2 more a day. So that kind of an planning ahead. So you work out every day so that you can eat a pint of ice cream.
Well, I have the workout every day. So now I just need to do the drafting.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Kyle was talking about a quicker listing process. I mean, this is homework for everybody, but I would love everyone to film their listing process so that I can see it. And that way we can look at it and improve it, because listing should take maximum 6 minutes. And that's if you've never been in that category before. If you have listing the same thing, it can take as little as 20 seconds. But if you know how to list anything in 6 minutes, that's fine. That's 10 an hour. You don't need to be faster than that. Justin's asking, does everyone in their video? So this call we run Monday through Friday, and anybody can join. There's usually about 150 people in it each morning, and our goal is to share best practices and help everyone build a bigger store, make more money, save more time. That's the goal. You can't actually tell how many items you've listed each day on eBay. One of the things for the group is we have this. Here, let me show you guys on YouTube. We have an accountability sheet. So in here, it says, how many people want to list that week. And then they just keep track manually. So we've been keeping track for like a year now, people deciding how many listings they want to do and then keeping track. So we have that benefit of the group also. Whoops. But yeah, I would recommend you keep track of your daily listings and get used to whatever amount that you're doing. And then that just becomes part of your life. I had to adjust my schedule slightly because for some reason it takes me 10 minutes to get started in the morning. So I'm going to wake up at 4:50 instead of 5 o'clock because I just can't function the first 10 minutes. So I'm just going to build that buffer into the day. Let's see. Julie just moved into a new home. Okay. I think that's a great, moving to a new home is wonderful because you get to get rid of all the things that you don't need. Start space is brand new. And I love moving to a new space. Just need to be thoughtful and practice donating 1 to 10 items a day until you have only what's left. Storage space for James. So a lot of people are restrained by storage space. James, can you chat? What are you going to do to improve your storage space? Hopefully he can chat. We'll go back to him. One more thing for Shiloh in the chat is saying it takes more than 20 seconds for the page to load the pictures and save the draft. So if you're in the group, you would know that we work on more than one draft at a time. So while it's loading the pictures, we work on the next listing. There's no way in hell you should just be sitting around for that 20 seconds. You should be working on the next one. And
you don't like staring at the screen and looking at the circles as they go
I
in?
know who is doing that. But also, upgrading your internet, if you can afford it, is worth it. If you have fast internet, it doesn't take 20 seconds; it's instant. So that's a huge improvement. Everyone, buy the best computer you can afford, and that should be $600. You can get a really nice computer and invest in that immediately. You don't need a new photo kit. You can, but a fast computer is huge because if it's taking you a minute just for your computer to function, I mean, you're losing hundreds of dollars a day in productivity. So get a cheap, good computer, best one you can afford. Just like offer the best return policy you can afford. Most expensive return policy, 60-day free returns. Cheapest return policy, I would argue, is 30-day returns because no returns is not cheap because people will force a return. Donna's saying a little better flow between prepping and to put the time away. So I just added 15 minutes to my day for prep because I think it might take a little bit longer than I think. So I need to prep 250 items for the day. So I'm giving myself an hour and 15 minutes now. I want to really, really, really sort. That's my main job now. So I want to make sure the right stuff's going into my store. Ashley says faster photos and listing. Need more practice. Okay. Working on a big draft bank. Everyone remember, a big draft bank starts as a little draft bank. Okay. It's not big in the beginning. Let's see. Cindy needs blinders. Feed the baby. Yeah, I would say saying no is a really good concept. So learning how to say no is huge. Also, Eric is saying my box method takes seconds. I know it only took me 8 seconds, and not even 8 seconds. It took me like a minute to pick 12 items. So that's like 5 seconds per item to pick in the box method. But it does take time to package the item and put it into the box and move the box onto the shelf. Not much, but it takes up a lot less space, but then there's more materials required. And then if you're using plastic bags, some people recycle the bags, some people don't. I was buying at the volume that my plastic bags were 1 cent each. I know last night I heard on the call that Christine was spending 4 cents per bag. So for me, 20,000, let's just say 25,000 listings a year. It's $1,000 at 4 cents, but only $250 for bulk. So things do get cheaper as you grow. Cindy wants a bigger draft bank. Grace wants to make her listing process faster, niche down, set up her storage. So I think it's really important when you're setting up your systems, just think about what you're doing, write everything down, what needs to be within hand's reach. Everyone needs a huge donation habit. If you have a huge death pile or a death house, you need to fill up your car once a day and go to the donation. Nothing wrong with that. Been there. And get to the point where you're at desk nirvana and there's nothing on your desk except for what you need, which might just be a pen, piece of paper, nothing else, just to write down stuff that you need to take care of. What do you think about directing traffic outside eBay to your eBay store? It's a good idea. It's not necessary though. A lot of people spend a lot of time building a social media following and external marketing when you could use that same time, like you could use that same time to just find better items. So Mark's saying, your problem is after you ship, you're ready to test and take pictures, but you don't feel like you have time to move your stuff around. I don't fully understand that. Mark, can you chat? Hopefully you can come back. Maya says she's a chocolate hoarder. I eat my chocolate. I don't really even like chocolate that much, but I like to. Now I'm becoming more of a finisher. So if there's snacks, eat all the gummy bears, eat all the Cheez-Its. Like if there's, just finish the whole box. That's why I like the 1 pint of ice cream thing, because it's 1 pint of ice cream is a serving. Access to more inventory for Karima. Yep. Terry's thinking about lowering her goal from 10 to 7 so that she can bank 3 every day. Nothing wrong with that. I would say though, if you can do 10, you can do 11. Don't lower your standards, just get better. Like, don't wish things were more expensive, just make more money. It's easier. Like, okay, let me back up for a second. Conversion is conversion. So let's say you have to go to 6 thrift stores to find 100 items. It's not worth it to figure out how you can do it in 5 thrift stores. It's just a little bit more work to get more items. Just do that. People spend a lot of time trying to get more out of the same store, more out of the same time. And it's easier just to work a little bit longer at the same pace. Tiger of Happiness is saying he listed 600 items yesterday on his PC. Wouldn't have been possible on a phone. So I've tested it. It takes 1 to 2 minutes to list on a phone, and takes between 20 seconds and 1 minute to list on your computer. So it's about 1 to 2 minutes faster on your computer. But if you have 10 listings, that's only 10 or 20 minutes. So it's not, for 99% of people, it's not crippling to use your phone. So I've done the homework. You can use your phone. You can use your computer. If your listing goes under 30, it's not that big a deal. DK says he feels the phone is faster. I don't care about your feelings. Mathematically, it's not faster. because you only have 2 fingers and you can't type as fast as on a keyboard, and you can't drag the photos in as easy. It's way slower. It's up to 10 times slower on the phone than it is on a computer, fully optimized. Ryan is working on shipping at night and listing first thing in the morning. That's not a bad way to do it. Depends on your shipping policies. Let's see, 3-day handling to account for kids and 9 to 5. Wow, that's a lot. So Ryan has a 9 to 5 and kids. So I love this because maybe the hardest thing for Ryan is getting the listings done. So getting shipping done at night allows him to focus on that in the morning. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing as shipping in the morning, except for you just move it to the night before. Like getting up early starts with, going to bed early. Your husband works out because he wants to eat what he wants to. I know, that makes sense to me. Just eat the pasta, but just go for a walk. Mark says he does garage sales on Saturdays, so I mainly get Sunday up. Makes sense. Draft more than you need daily. Yeah, Eric was the one I was talking about. Spend more time sourcing instead of optimizing. Mitch does 23 a day. That's a great model. So Cindy has an issue with the draft bank and she accidentally lists the item. That's not that big a deal. Just after you practice a little bit, you'll get used to hitting the draft button. And then over time, you'll get used to it. Let's see. DK Weather is saying you take photos with your phone, click send. How is that not faster? If you've done both, it's really obvious that it's not faster. I can do a listing on eBay in 30 seconds if I've listed the item before. How can you do that on a phone? It's impossible. And I will tell you, the mobile app is really good. It's excellent, but it's still slower. But again, it doesn't matter. We're arguing like you want to save 5 minutes a day. It doesn't matter. Nancy's thinking about getting a week of listings done in one day and drafting them and releasing every day. That's completely fine. There's a person in the group that does 70 on Saturday and doesn't work the other days. Right? 10 a day. Garage sale in the morning. Get all 70 items. List all 70. Take Sunday through Friday off, only shipping. That's fine. What I would do is I would schedule them. Just pay the $6 and have it go live throughout the week and don't worry about it. Your issue is sometimes you barcode and scan your games. Yeah, for some people, it's they like to list while they process. I think it's faster though to just do everything at the same time. Do all the processing, prep all the games, test all the games, then list them all at the same time. I understand it could be faster since you're already holding it and try to just do it, but usually batching processing is better because getting into a listing flow is magic. It's magic. So one thing with DK also, if you use the custom SKU, which a lot of people do, it's buried inside the eBay app. So it can take 4 or 5 seconds just to get to the custom SKU place. So it depends on your listing flow. If you're listing like a video game and you scan it with your phone, pre-owned, $12.99, enter. That's under 30 seconds. But that's different than all the item specifics. It depends on your category. Mark says he hit Nirvana. He's been listing 10 and selling 10. He can't get his store to grow. Mark, this should seem obvious, but if you're listing 10 and selling 10 and your store doesn't grow, it mathematically can't grow. If you list and sell the same number of items, you have to list 11 and sell 10 and your store will grow. Maya just moved. Cheryl says she gets up at 4 because it takes her hours to function. It takes me like 10 minutes. I know Tech starts working 4 seconds after he wakes up, but it takes me a lot longer. Let's see. Oh, James is at the gym today. Let's see. Mark pays up and buys fast selling items only. There's nothing wrong with that. Do not get a Chromebook. Horrible. Get an actual computer. Ty says, let's see. You're using an M1 MacBook Air. Yep. M1 MacBook Air. There's so many sales on them. You can get a new one for $700. So, I mean, and kill it. Have no issues, and your computer will be lightning fast. You don't need a double monitor. I've tested all that stuff. You don't need a standing desk. You don't need the meditate. You don't need the journal. That's all BS. Reselling is mechanical. It's okay. Let's see. Sharon wants a call about sorting. That'd probably be a pretty good call. Figure out what it is that you need to sort, and how to make it more efficient. Eleanor had no notable increase in returns since switching to 60-day free returns. I had the same. What's the max you can have in your draft bank? 3,000. I've had 2,200 drafts before, and I didn't have any issues. But remember, I didn't let them get older than 2 weeks. So don't let your drafts get old. They will expire. And there's a max, there's a draft limit on mobile. I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody can type it in the chat. On the computer, the draft bank is 3,000 max. On the computer, I'm sorry, computer is 3,000. Phone, I think it's 50 or 100, and they start disappearing. Josh says Anchor Store now gives you a 24 to 48 hour warning if they're going to MCO 99 an item. That's cool. I think that they don't have to give you that warning though. Like if you were to list, there's some really dangerous brands that I believe that they will just take it down no matter what. They may take down the listing, but not give you an MCO 99 maybe. Cottage Keeper takes phones on her iPhone, airdrops them, and then creates all the listings on the MacBook. She doesn't like the eBay app for listing. Yeah, Apple products can make it easy, but just as easy on a PC. Yeah, you don't need a computer at all. The first month I did eBay, I used my phone only, and I did 17,000 my first month, just shoes, no computer. And again, that's why people care so much about computer, phone, photo kit, storage system. You don't need any of that. You could just actually you do need a phone, I guess, if you take pictures on your phone. But you could just use a camera and go to the library and list if you really needed to. Let's see. Can I send the link from my bulk bags? Yes, you can. I haven't posted text call yet from last night. I'll do it right now. Okay, let's see. Best Buy has pre-owned options too. That's the hack of the day. Let's go look. Let's see. I want to see because I'm curious. I'm biased though, because
I
they
wonder if
don't.
it's like their own, like refurbished,
Let's look. MacBook M1 open box. There's 22. Let's
I know
search.
they have pre-owned and refurbished separate. It's interesting.
Yeah, right here. I guess I've seen it lower than that, but here we go. Open box as low as 629.90 or 629.99. This is the second best computer I've ever used, and look how cheap it is. Look at the reviews. It's awesome. So, but don't think that buying this laptop will help you list more. It won't. And don't DM me on Instagram. I will never respond. There's like 1,000 messages.
Chris, can you
Go ahead.
post that laptop because I'm driving?
Yes. Don't DM me on Instagram. I can't respond. It says right on my Instagram profile to email me because it's just impossible. Oh, you want to know how to convert 2 stores into one? You can use an item like 3D sellers or I mean, a program like 3D Sellers or InkFrog, download all your listings into your library, and then post it into the other store. And make sure that you do it like a small amount of listings at one time so that you don't overwhelm yourself. David got a MacBook Pro and it's the best investment ever. I agree. I have a MacBook Pro and it's awesome. It's so awesome. Let's see. Let's see. So the question of the day is, what would make your eBay store better? Don't want to vary too much off of that today. When you create the drafts, do you add them in normal? John is asking, when I create the drafts, do I add them as normal to my inventory or keep them separate until it's listed? I added them. As soon as I did it, I put it away. But it is dangerous because you could put an item away that's not listed and then forget the draft, and now you're screwed. So that's why you can't screw up. You have to list it. That's why, having a draft bank is a little scary sometimes. So yesterday, Bill listed a Peter Millar shirt for $17. He paid $2. A reseller bought it and resold it for 48. Yeah, it depends on which Peter Millar, and there are experts in Peter Millar. It's a massive company. Let's see. Swindler said he would trade his eBay store to have me back. I might be back on eBay one day. It's not impossible. Let's see. You don't get a write-off for donations if you do the cash accounting method, says Cheryl. That's true. So much you can't do from a phone. It's true. This is true. Jeff is saying that a smartphone is a computer. It's just smaller. That's true. Also, there's people who use an iPhone or an iPad with a keyboard. That's pretty much a computer. So Janine loves scheduling. It's worth the 10 cents to her. I think it's not expensive. 10 cents per listing. It's only expensive to list things that don't sell. That's it. That's maybe a good rule of thumb. If you don't want to pay the 10 cents, maybe your listing sucks. Right? Maybe it's not worth listing if it's not worth the 10 cents. On a Chromebook, it's horrible, says Maya. Okay, it's built for web browsing. That's all. There's nothing wrong with the Chromebook. It's just that we're trying to invest in our businesses on things that don't break. Every single person I know that's had a Chromebook has issues with it. I don't want any issues. It's not worth it. If you can make $100 an hour selling on eBay, in 6 hours, you can pay for a computer that will never break. So that's my 2014 MacBook is what I use to ship. And I've never turned it off like in 8 years. It's still working. So, I mean, I just don't mess with that. I feel like, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I should, I've restarted it, but I've never turned it off. And I don't know. Let's see. Cheryl loves her double monitors. It's okay. I'm just saying you don't need it. You don't need a double monitor stand-up desk and a mechanical keyboard. It's cool. And it makes cool sounds when you type, but it's not necessary. Let's see. Most people who do returns return it within the first 2 weeks. I agree with that. How long do you guys wait before you return something that you don't like? Yesterday, my wife said, do we need masking tape? And I said, yes. So she ordered shipping tape because she didn't know there was a difference between shipping tape and masking tape. And I returned it last night. We got it yesterday. I printed the label and we ordered the wrong thing and it's going back out tomorrow. I don't wait 60 days. So people love the Chrome. Let's see. Jeff spent 250 on an HP laptop. That's fine. I'm okay with any laptop. I'm just not okay with Chromebooks because you have to like transferring the photos is complicated. Oh, thank you, Philip. I will add all those different calls during this right after this. I'll add text call and the toy call, and I don't know if the shoe call has been added either. Kristen bought her son open box Xbox. I try to buy everything open box. I bought my appliances on eBay. Like, get the warranty, get a used one. Let's see. Does anyone use a home hotspot? You can. It's just not as reliable as internet. Get wired internet if you can. Yeah, the MacBook Pro is so unbelievable. Edgar, the 2014 MacBook Pro that I have, I think it might actually be a 2010. It's a little bit slow, but I can use it to print labels. Faster internet with, yeah, if you wire your connection in, it's the fastest and most reliable. I would say internet is really cheap. Space is really cheap. People spend, what's expensive is being lazy and not listing. Don't get a hotspot instead of real internet. That's not worth $40, $50. You make that in half an hour on reselling.
Jack was talking on the media call or sourcing call on Friday that he uses an Ethernet connection because it's so much faster.
Yeah, why would you not do that? It's like using a dull knife.
Yeah,
Don't-
hotspot's almost just like an add-on for emergency. You know,
My-
that's not the main.
yeah.
That's not the
I've
main
tried
thing.
to list.
Yeah.
I've tried to list for my storage units with my hotspot and it sucks. So I go home and I hook up with my Ethernet.
I have like a
Uh.
$300 beefy Wi-Fi router to get like the Wi-Fi to every device in the house because there's 5 of us and like 15 devices. But when I wire into the internet, I usually get 500 megs down. It's like ridiculous on the hard Ethernet line. So it's so much different. I still get like 100, 120 on the wireless. So if you talk to your ISP, you can get a really good Wi-Fi. It just depends on your wireless router. So
Yeah, get the best router you can too. Just try the buy for life concept. Ethernet and good internet and a good storage, they're not that expensive. Good internet is $2 a day. I mean, $2 a day. Come on, fam. $2 a day for electricity, $1 a day for water, $2 a day for internet. You're all in $5 a day. Eat ramen, you're in $6 a day. You can build an awesome business in 3 months. I didn't know that. Okay, I thought you need a Rolo printer before you start. That's wrong. You do not need that. Let's see. Wasting less time. Yeah, is huge. Wasting less time is huge. Make your store grow by following tech as closely as possible. I agree. But here's the thing that tech does the same thing every day. That's all. If you want to follow tech as closely as possible, you do. I would argue that maybe not, but at one point, I think I was the second closest to tech because my day was almost exactly the same every day. But there's people in the group who do have the same day every day. So I would say they're actually copying tech. Corey, do you have feedback? That's how you pop in.
I was just going to say consistency. That seems
Yeah.
like the big thing.
It is.
The overriding theme to everything.
Well, Corey, people are like, oh, I've been listening for 3 weeks. And then text like, I've been listening for 13 years. You know, it's not the same thing. Let's
Hey,
see.
Chris, I got a question for you.
Yep.
When you had everything in your plastic bags, did you ship in your plastic bags?
Yep.
Huh.
I did 1 cent.
All
Up
right.
to 4 cents if you don't buy bulk. I think it's fine. I don't want to. My time is worth more than unpacking it.
Okay.
It just depends, though. And I understand text method too. You don't need the plastic bag. It's not going to affect your customer experience too much. Actually, folding it nicely and putting it into the bag probably is better value than a crumpled up item inside the bag, plastic bag. So like, let's see. New iPhone processor is better than the Chromebook. I mean, a new iPhone's also $1,000, so it's not reasonable.
Yeah, but the problem I think people don't see with Chromebooks is because of the memory and the processing power, even the modern internet is tough for it. Like it's built to only be on the internet and maybe word process a bit. But
Yeah.
even that is difficult for a Chromebook because it's so low powered.
Yeah, that's what I found the problem is. It's like even the phone, you can, I mean, the processor is pretty good on a phone. I get it. People think it's good, but until you use like a desktop or a good laptop with a good size screen. I mean, I could split screen on my phone and pull up the browser on my phone, and I could be listing from photos with the browser underneath it. But that, I mean, I'm gonna be like picking and poking and clicking, and it's just like it's just not near as efficient. So I mean, just because you can do it, that should look kind of like the hotspot. That should be in an emergency. You know, if you're out and you want to get some listings up, it is a nice extra tool to have. But for listing itself, there's nothing that beats a good computer.
So you could be like Matt, who was in the group. He used a $100, maybe it was a Chromebook, really bad computer. It would take 90 seconds for the photos to load. Okay, that's pretty slow. McDonald's internet, $100 computer, 3,000 item store, just a couple of months with no money. But there's no cost there if you go to McDonald's. I mean, I don't know how far McDonald's is from him gas wise, but yeah.
Isn't that what
So
our dog did when he first started?
yeah, that's Matt.
Yeah, when Matt first started.
Yeah, that's what he did. It doesn't. If you want to do it, you'll do it. Let's see. Eric's asking about uploading measurements while the photos are loading. I would say just take pictures of the measurements, especially with jeans, because you can get returns because people don't believe you when you write in the measurements. So I stopped doing that. My returns went from, I don't remember what they were before, but my returns only
Chris.
1% in jeans. Go ahead.
Not to interrupt, I take pictures of the measurements, but what I was saying is when I'm actually listing or drafting it and I'm creating that listing, I notice that I try to squint at the picture so that I can create that title. Like, do you have anything to go around that instead of like squinting to see, hey, it's a size large or a size 8?
You mean,
You get what
do you take a picture of that size close up?
Yeah, I do.
So why are you squinting? Because you're trying to see the picture of the item?
I can make a video and tag you on it.
You can make a video. I use the space bar to open the picture up larger to see it.
Try that.
It wasn't that bad, but yeah, make a video so I can see it.
All right. Do I tag you on the group or?
Yeah, just tag me in the group.
Okay.
Let's see. How do I feel about a 50% off sale? I think it just depends on your situation. Some people always have a 50% off sale. The larger the sale, the more enticing it is to the customer. Let's see. The only internet was satellite, but she switched to Starlink. That's great. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Andy says the number one thing he learned from the group was how important prep is. I agree with that. Mandy, what could you do to improve your reselling? I don't know if you can chat. Sorry, I caught you mid tape dispenser.
Were you talking to me, Chris? Sorry.
Morning.
Morning.
What could you do to improve your store?
Oh, what we've been working on is, I don't want to say because we're on YouTube what my product is, but the pieces that aren't perfect, to maximize those pieces. So when it goes through machine the production, we have pieces that come out that aren't, like, it didn't work properly. So we have a station, so my husband and I can double check those pieces to make sure if it's viable to try to get them to work, or just sell them in lots as repair lots. Trying to maximize every dollar in the in our buys.
I love that.
So I'll post later in the group, you know, the picture of the setup, but we're really happy with it and trying to organize it, make it easy, streamlined, where instead of like trying to find pieces.
I love it. That's one part of cherry picking that you don't have to do, because if you cherry pick every item, you can just pick the best items. But if you start buying lots, which is where a lot of the money is on eBay, then you maximizing your low end stuff is, imagine if you could break even on the lot just with the low end stuff.
Yeah, because we only buy in lots, so we don't actually pick the pieces that we resell. I mean, I pick it based on the lot, but you don't know what all you're getting. So the idea is, like, how can you maximize and make the most out of it?
Agreed. Cool. Bill?
Hey, Chris, I have a question for the group.
Yep.
Has anybody, I'm running a BOGO in April, 40% off for veterans and first responders, but have had 0 takers. Just wonder if anybody's had a similar offering and if they've had any kind of success with it.
BOGO offers buy one, get one half off, buy one, get one free. Really only work if you have a similar item store, or to me, it's not as effective as an instant coupon because people are impatient and don't want to go look through your items. So it's like if you offer a 20% instant coupon, because people can only see one sale at a time on the eBay page. So if they're like, wow, I get 20% off any item, and then they see it, right? Then they're like, oh, I can get 20% off other items. So I've seen a instant sale convert better than a BOGO, even with combined sales. So because people are lazy, and oftentimes you're on eBay just buying one item. So it's difficult to get people to stay on the website. So
is
okay,
20% the sort of the necessary discount
I think
to
so. I
generate
think
excitement?
it depends, because like if you're a Kohl's shopper, 20% ain't shit. Excuse my language, because that's like where they start. Like 80% off, maybe a Kohl's shopper will go in. But like Rolex, 2% sale would be lying down the street. Depends on what you sell. So I mean, but when you're walking in the mall, I recommend everybody walk through a mall. There's nobody there. And look at the sales that draw you into the store. No one is offering less than 20% off. 20% off, it doesn't get my heart rate up at all. It doesn't matter. It's just like that barely covers tax. It doesn't do anything. So I think that BOGO offers don't necessarily work, because you know what would work is if you could email your customers a BOGO. But when you're browsing on eBay, it's hard to see that. Yeah, it's difficult, especially you have some high-end items, Bill. It's really difficult to combine those. Lots of people are asking about ironing and washing. I recommend you wash things that need to be washed. According to eBay, if you sell clothing, you have to wash it per eBay standards. Okay, but they don't define what that is. So maybe it's just you licking your finger and scratching off any dirt or stain that you see, or it could be as fancy as dry cleaning. It depends on what you do. I think if you buy bulk, pay by the pound, it's actually quite affordable to have your stuff washed. but then that also cuts into your profit. So just think about what works for you. A lot of people wash and iron every single garment. A lot of people wash and steam every single garment. It depends on your average sale price. If you're selling really cheap items, less prep is required. Let's see. You don't need a reseller's permit. It just allows you to buy things and not pay sales tax. Let's see.
You can also gain you access to certain businesses and liquidations.
That's true. Some people require a resale license before you can even walk in. And the main reason why, just so people know, is because they are responsible for collecting sales tax. So if you have a reseller's permit, then they can tell the government, this person I do not have to collect sales tax from, because they plan on reselling it and charging the sales tax to the final customer.
See, to me, that just seems like an extra accounting step I don't want to take. I'd rather pay the sales tax, because either way, if you don't pay it up front, you have to collect it and account for it on the back end. That's just
eBay
more
does that for eBay does that for you though.
In most states.
Yeah, except in one state, I think is all that's left. Cheryl can confirm.
Mhm. Cheryl, I don't know if she can chat.
Yep.
All but one
So
state.
yes, Missouri is the only one.
Wow.
It's funny, I
Missouri
figured it
is the
was
only
Ohio.
one.
That's where I'm in Ohio.
I happen. What?
Cheryl, quick question about Missouri. And I could be wrong, but I think it's because Missouri doesn't charge sales tax on internet sales right now. That's why eBay doesn't collect it. But again, I may be wrong.
They're in the process. Missouri's in the process of changing. We had the discussion a few months ago, and looking at Missouri's website, it's not that they don't. They are behind the times with their system and being able to process the collections. So they're in the process of upgrading their systems.
Okay. All right.
So
Cool. Thank you.
that's still with Missouri. I'm not sure who it was that was talking, but I completely agree with, if you're not trying to get into a store to buy wholesale where they require a sales tax license, then I would do it. It's just extra steps and extra pain, because then you have to file quarterly that you didn't collect any tax, and I mean, it's zeros, but you still have to file quarterly for that.
Fair enough. I can't believe Missouri hasn't figured that out yet. Like, you guys want to collect millions of dollars in taxes? That's like, it'll happen. Let's see. Kelly's using an iPad with a keyboard, but saving for a MacBook Pro. That's awesome.
Hey Chris, off topic.
Yep.
Hey, did you used to lot up a lot of your clothing items? Because I don't remember seeing you having a lot of listings where you lotted up like 3 Nike shirts the same size. Like I feel like I just had bad success doing that, but I don't remember you doing a lot of that. Was there a reason why, or just there's no particular reason why?
The reason why is it takes time to build lots.
Okay.
So you need the space in order to do that. And I'm thinking about maybe doing that now, because 3 Nike shirts for $20, or I'm sorry, 3 Nike shirts for $24, it seems like a good deal. But
Right.
1 Nike shirt for $8, maybe not, especially if it's the same size. So lots work well in lots of categories, children's clothes, but like they don't work well, let's say, in like shoes. You can't say 1 size 12 dress shoes, 1 size 12 running shoes, 1 size 12 moccasins. That customer is very rare. So, but yeah, the reason why I didn't do it and just did 1 by 1 was because building lots takes too long.
Too much time. Okay, I got you.
Yep.
All right, I appreciate that. Only reason I'm thinking about doing it sometimes because you bring in bigger sales when you get a sale, but the trade-off is the time. All right, my man. I appreciate that. Hey, have you found out where you're gonna go at Poshmark, or still thinking about that?
I think 1,000 item Poshmark closet to start. Edgar's asking about business policies. I'll show you mine. I have whoops, let me delete this one. I wonder if I can even delete it. I can. Okay. So these are my business policies. I only have 1 or 2 payment policies: eBay managed payments and then no immediate payment. And I had no immediate payment for, I guess I can't use it anymore. I don't know what is the reason why you use no immediate payment? There's one, it's like
For
auction.
shoppers that want to shop your store like over a couple days and get a
Got
bunch
it. That's right. Thank you, Nelson. So people that want to shop for a while and combine after the fact, you take off the immediate payment. But eBay managed payments was my default. I did same day $8.99 standard shipping. So the reason why you would use business policies is to save time. So occasionally I did free shipping, and this is mainly for replenishable items. I had some heavy items, and heavy items I didn't really understand the shipping. So what I would do is use calculated. So enter the dimensions and weight in. This is very rare. This is when I sold bikes and stuff. Go ahead.
If you do sell similar though, doesn't that already do the business policies in a way?
It does. It will. If you do sell similar, it will copy the previous one.
So you wouldn't need the business policies if you're doing sell similar.
You would not.
All right. Okay.
That's a great point to bring
No,
up.
no, yes, you would. I ended up with 500 business policies because every single sell similar off of someone else gave me.
No. It needs to be sell similar off your own.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it can't be off somebody else's, Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. So just remember, when you're selling similar off of your own items, you don't need business policies because you've already built them one time. But if you're selling similar off of somebody else's listings, you're copying theirs.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Is eBay auto still number 1? I think so. I think actually Amazon's number 1 for auto parts. Here, they're being really evil and they're offering 1 hour shipping for auto parts. They're trying to put all the auto part makers out of business here. That should be illegal, I feel like. Maybe not. What do you think? Because they lose money on every shipment to offer 1 hour shipping.
The game that Amazon plays in order to be so big is they are passing the savings off to the customer. So the customer's always getting the best deal. Yeah. And because that deal is so ridiculous, no one else can compete with them. But that's the game. You just make sure that if they were not giving the customer the best deal, it'd be a different story. But it's competition at its finest.
All right, everyone that's joining right now. We now have a beginner call. It starts right now every single day, Monday through Friday. So I'm going to end the stream on YouTube. So everybody smash the like button. Join the Patreon. Isaiah covers our beginner call, which starts now. So I appreciate everybody online.